Island of Miami, Venezuela, la feel like Jamaica. Feel me? Alright. Hold on, I'm finna start getting into this soon, but I'm just letting some people get in the chat. We're gonna keep this brief. You feel me? Brief and simple. Feel me? Right now, I ain't gonna lie, I'm sweaty. And I'm gonna just go ahead and start at this point. So, it's not gonna be a long video, it's straight to the point, and it's not gonna be too much, but I mean, as you can tell by the title, we talking about, let me be close to the camera too, because I'm not gonna be loud on this one. When we talk about understanding imagination, all right, we're gonna get into this a little solo reflection as well too to help me out to understand some things. But realms of realms of the mental field, realms of the mental plane, aka what we call the astral realm, but the mental part of it as far as the mentality, the mind, the realm of thinking, the realm of analyzing, the realm of emitting a thought, the realm of imagination. When you talk about these realms, it gets tricky, but not really. It gets complicated, but not really. It's just as straight to the point as it is different layers of it as well. But what you want to understand, right? Because I'm getting right into this one is when you talk about an imagination or whatnot, right? There's different types of it. What we call astral projection. That's just an offspring of you being deep into your imagination. You see what I'm saying? Um, Creativity is a part of imagination, but it's back to support it more so about you thinking of different things. It's not a You don't have to be consoling to creativity for you to have creativity. For instance, if you sit back and long enough, you daydream long enough, and you start to astral project, aka you see yourself in that world, you moving around in that world, in your imagination. That's like you astral projecting. That's like you getting out of this body, the physical body, and going into that realm and taking a body in that realm. That is a part of your imagination. But creativity, that deals with the fire element just like imagination does, but you don't have to deep dive and dwell into your creativity, um, and have an imagination about it that deeply and stuff like that for it to be create a new thought you caught. Like for instance, you can sit back right now and just think of new shit. You can catch new ideas, catch new thought forms, catch new ideas and shit like that. You don't have to sit back, close your eyes, and dream. You see that's my whole point I'm trying to say. But getting back to the point is there's different shifts and different spectrums of it, right? So you actually build energy. You know what I'm saying? Um, when you start jumping into your imagination, whether you even if you're dreaming, this is why when you sleep, you get energy. You getting sleep, getting energy from a source. That's the source. They say your body resting, yeah, your body's resting, but at the same time, your body is still alive, doing the same shit it's doing when it's awake. You still pumping blood. It ain't like everything stopped, halted, and taking a break. Everything's still moving. You see what I'm saying? And that's because you in that dream space, you receiving energy, right? So just by you sitting back and closing your eyes, in imagination and imagining and shit like that, you actually build energy, you build current. But here's the thing, there's levels of it. You can go deeper into it. See, a lot of times when people talk about, what do they say? Like actually wanting to astral project or being vividly in the vision or being vividly in their imagination, aka like them fully being in that imagination, like you astral projection and you in that vision and walking around in that world and literally you took your vessel and now you in that world now and not in the physical. That's a deeper level to it. But just like my buddy Sylvan Bomar talked about it before, in order for that to take place, you have to turn one gear off to turn another gear. What do I mean by that? You only can access that through like states of meditation, aka you have to detach from this the mind you're in, aka meditation, aka that's when you turn off thoughts and feelings. Then your body, you detach from that mind because you're not in that mind. When you're thinking and feeling, you're utilizing your mental body. But when you're not thinking and feeling at all, this is what the monks do. What do you think they was doing? When you meditate strong on that, you detach from that mind body, and then you can actually spark another body, aka go into another body from that, just through your imagination alone. But when you talk about astral projection and being in it vividly like that, like deep in it, like projection and astral traveling, you have to jump into some type of meditative space because you got to turn these senses off to go into your other body. Whereas you can you can be like, say you're awake, you're alive right now in the 3D realm. You can just sit back and close your eyes for a split second and just start emanating all kinds of new thoughts, ideas, and creativity and imaginations like that. And that's you building energy from it, but that's not you necessarily dwelling deep into them to the point where you projecting yourself in those visions and fields. You just projecting them from your space, from where you at. Like right now, you just close your eyes for a split second. I give you 5 seconds. You start thinking of the higher out worlds, farther out worlds. You're emanating thoughts, and you're receiving imaginations, and you're pushing off imaginations, and you're building energy and currency through that. But it's not like if you was to sit down, close your eyes, and go into a dream. This is why when you dream, you don't remember the exact point from when you left this physical body and went into the dream. You don't remember. That's because you had to be in a situation where you detach from this mind and body to go into that other dream world. And depending on how low you was vibrating and all that depends on what kind of dream you have and where you was at specifically in the astral realm and all that. Was you in a high place that's less dense with less thoughts and feelings and lighter thoughts and feelings? Or was you in one that was more heavy and heavy emotion and feelings where you was crying and you was heavily scared and you was more in holistic memory reality of this realm, aka more nightmarish one. You see them? So there's different levels of it. I'm gonna get up out of here, but yeah, that's how that play out. So I'm just saying again, when you talking about just sitting back right now, you can do this even with your eyes open or closed. But when you just sitting back and you just thinking of different things, you create deep dive into your creativity, thinking of what could be out there. You thinking, sparking new images, imagery in your mind. You even jumping into your imagination, but you're just sitting back and just thinking about them for like that from afar. That's just you sparking images and receiving light. But for you to actually, you like, man, I want to actually astral project. I want to leave this body and go into another one. For that process or whatever you want to call it to take place, you have to turn these lights, aka this, you have to shut these senses off, aka through meditating and clairvoyance, the clairvoyant energy. Because when you do that, you shut off thoughts and feelings, and then your soul body, your mental spirit body, soul, whatever you want to call it, detaches from this mind, and then you can go spark off another emanation and go into that, because everything is really portals. Like even when you think of an imagination right now, you really catching a fractal of a portal and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? This is why you can sit back. It's all the same thing, just different perspectives of it. Like I said, that's why you can sit back and you just think of different ideas without getting consoled into them to astral project into them. You're just thinking of them at the moment and diving into creativity. But if you was to hone in on one of those for long enough, you would see yourself in that world, in that space, in that thought, in that imagination, because that's in that world. That's all a part of the whole collective as a whole, depending on where you at too and what you kind of your mind. But that's how that play out. So yeah, anytime if you talk about deeply actually being into something, actual traveling in an imagination, then you have to shut off these senses and meditate, or because you have to switch different gears. You got to turn off one gear to go into the next gear if you want to fully immerse yourself in that imagination as far as astral projection, and astral travel. But if you just talk about sitting back and just thinking all day, you can do this even while your eyes closed. You could be at work, you could be at home, just chilling, laying down before you even go to sleep. You just sparking off different imageries and imaginations and creativity like that, but you're not actually going into it as far as astral projection or astral travel. Then that's just you just building energy. You just building energy and current, and we all can do that. So it's different levels to what you're doing. You just gotta know what you're doing. You see like that, and it's not as complicated as we try to make it. We try to make a lot of things more complicated than it really is. But once you have the 1-2, aka the 1-2-1-2, to know what it really is, you see what I'm saying? And you straight, and then now you know what you're doing. Now you can do it the way you want to do it, and add your own touch and flavor to it, and then you can go deep with it. But everything really is really simple starting off. You see what I'm saying? And you start simple, then you go deep. Cause once you know the basics, like I said, then you know how it goes. So you don't have to get lost anymore to be like, man, how do I do this? How do I do that? Once you already know, okay, this is my main problem, or this is what I need to do, or this is what I want to do. Now I know how to attack that goal and go down that path to achieve whatever it is I'm trying to achieve. But with that being said, I love y'all, man. Much love. Y'all hit me up in the comment section for any questions. I'll do any videos I want. And I'm out, man. But yeah, peace, peace.